You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I do want to give a quick shout out to a friend of the show, Graham. I met him for the first time yesterday at the dispensary of all places.
What do you mean of all places? There's like 6 places to meet you, and that's 4 of them.
Sure. He caught me in my natural habitat. I was standing there like looking at like weed pens, asking questions, and he was like, "No way!
Yeah.
I knew you."
Just points over at you.
Said he's been listening to the podcast specifically a lot.
Oh, amazing.
I guess Graham's been going to Peterborough a bunch, so listening to us on the road there, catching up on the shows.
Has he left a 5-star review with a negative caption?
I did not ask him that.
We haven't talked about this in forever. Maybe if you're new to the podcast or new to the show.
Yes.
We, I believe, still have a perfect 5-star rating on both Apple and
keep.
Spotify, which that's great. That makes us look great to the boss. But we also think it's hilarious if you leave a 5-star review, but in the caption, you just talk shit about the show.
Yeah, write the worst stuff you can. Say that I have an annoying voice. Say you hate Dalby's laugh. Whatever it is, just write negative shit below, but still give us a 5-star. That way people can be confused as fuck whenever they look at it.
We'll still show up on like charts and stuff like that, and then people who don't know anything about the Brock and Dalby show will be like, "Oh, what's this show with a perfect 5-star rating?" And it's nothing but negatives. That's hilarious.
Yes. Please, if you haven't yet, leave a review, 5 stars, but a negative comment, all right?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty disappointed with the way the world works sometimes. Found out once again I've been snubbed for world's sexiest bald man.
Oh, who took the title this year?
For the second year in a row, it's Prince William.
What?
The Prince William. Not only the second year in a row, but the third time in 4 years he's been declared the world's sexiest bald man.
Who's making this? Who awarded him that?
So the company, it's like an SEO research company called Reboot that apparently does this, and they have some different criteria. They one is how shiny the heads are. That's part of the criteria.
Okay.
He apparently scored a 7 on the luminance scale for the shininess of his head. Then also, have you heard of the golden ratio?
No.
That apparently there is a like perfect face that exists, like a mathematically perfect face. He scored high on the golden ratio. His height, his smile.
His smile?
Apparently,
His smile?
his smile got a good score.
The dude looks like a bald horse.
You said it, not me. And then finally, one thing that I didn't realize that they use for the criteria for this is there's also a search score. What they do is they'll take famous bald men from around the world and they'll look at Google Trend data and search data on how often the name is being searched.
There's no way.
Alongside words like shirtless, naked, sexy, attractive.
Nobody has ever laid in bed and been like, "Can I get a shirtless Prince William right now?"
Not only has it happened, but apparently it's happening more than with any other bald man on this planet.
There's no way that's true.
People are laying in bed.
No way
or they're on
true.
their phone. They're in a moment of privacy and they're like, "I need some of that topless royal action."
Prince William, innit? No way.
I'm really struggling at shaking bald horse.
The only reason he won this is because of his title and his wealth. That's the only way that he won this.
Well, there is some speculation that part of it does play into the fact of like they're always in the news. They're always being photographed out different places.
This is like that kid that you're like, how did he make my rep hockey team? And then you find out his dad is the sponsor on the back of the jersey. That's the only way that this happened. There's no way. You look at all this sexy, like The Rock exists.
The Rock is on the list. He is on the list. He is not number one. He did not finish ahead of Prince William. He was not. Apparently, people are not searching.
I don't even think Prince William's ever made his wife horny before. There's no way that's true, dude. Guy looks like an egg.
I don't know what to tell you, man, but once again, The royal family comes out on top.
I find you sexier than I find Prince William.
Okay, somebody has to take that clip, record it, put it aside for posterity. That will go down as the nicest thing you'll ever say about me on this show.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Someone did say The Rock probably didn't win because of the whole piss jug situation. So.
There's nothing sexy about a piss jug, that's for sure. You know what's weird, though? Is like you're upset about Prince William being number one. Third time out of 4 years for this award, by the way. But I'm looking at the rest of the top 10. It is not the most egregious foul on this list. There are some other bald men on here. And again, this is the sexiest bald men in the world right now that will shock and amaze you. As a matter of fact, we've done this before. I have a top 10 list. You know number one is Prince William.
You want me to see if I can guess the rest?
Why don't you try and fill out the remainder of the list?
Okay. All right. Okay. So number one is Prince William.
Yeah, here, let me get my ding set up here on the board.
I'll say The Rock has got to be somewhere on that list.
Yeah, sorry, hang on. My ding is not on the screen here. The Rock is at number 2. Congratulations.
Okay. Terry Crews on there?
Terry Crews, number 5.
Okay. Vin Diesel on there?
Vin Diesel at number 10.
I mean, I get that.
So you've got 4 out of the top 10.
Pitbull?
Pitbull is not on the list.
What?
Not,
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide, not in the top 10.
Is Patrick Stewart on there?
Patrick Stewart, not on the list.
Really?
Also, Sir Patrick Stewart, thank you very much.
What's that sexy beast from Criminal Minds? Shamar Moore?
Not on the list.
What? That guy's a stud.
He's absolutely a stud. Should certainly be on the list.
I know my mom still
names.
watches Criminal Minds just for him. Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan, not on the list. No.
Statham.
Jason Statham. I mean, a slam dunk. Not on the list.
Not on the list.
Not in the top 10, brother.
I don't know. Chris Daughtry?
Chris Daughtry, not on the list. No.
DMX?
DMX is dead. So
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess we're
list.
talking living baldies here.
I'll give you a hint. Go Marvel movies.
Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Snakes
Snakes on a Plane.
Samuel Jackson?
Samuel Jackson at number 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Morris Chestnut?
I don't know what that is.
Morris Chestnut?
Is that a person?
He's a great actor.
Oh, Morris Chestnut. Okay.
No?
No, he's not on there.
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold Steve Austin not on there. There are a couple of athletes in an obscure sport.
David Perron?
Do you know? No. Do you know anything about professional surfing?
The only one I can think of is Kelly Slater.
Kelly Slater,
He's
number
bald
4.
now?
He's bald now. I think
He used to have
shaving
such
it.
luscious hair in Baywatch.
Retired NBA superstar. That's not Michael Jordan.
Ron Artest?
Wrong. Think bigger.
I don't know, basketball.
He's probably the only basketball player you know. He does TV now. He's
Vince
an analyst.
Carter?
Not Vince Carter. Bigger. Big.
Shaquille O'Neal?
Shaquille O'Neal
Really?
is at number 3. And I'll tell you what, because you're not going to guess the rest of these. Coming from the bottom up, you had Vin Diesel at 10. Actor Stanley Tucci at number 9, who we have heard from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
They find him to be very sexy.
Okay, forgot about
Former
him.
French footballer Thierry Henry.
No idea who that is.
I didn't think you'd get there. Sam Jackson at number 7. The number 6 sexiest bald man of all time. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
I mean,
Danny DeVito is in at number 6.
I love Danny DeVito as much as the next guy, but sex appeal?
He's right up there. He's at number 6. Number 5, Terry Crews. Number 4, the professional surfer Kelly Slater. Shaquille O'Neal at number 3. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at number 2. And Prince William at number 1, which makes this whole list wrong.
I will say, I'm just upset that Johnny Sins didn't make the list.
Johnny Sins was apparently unavailable for comment about this list.
We're talking sexy bald guys.
He did not provide interview with the New York Post on this one.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
That Taylor Swift show is going down tonight at the Sky Dome in Toronto.
First of 40 shows or something like that, right? She's there for a bit, isn't she?
I have no idea. All I know is the ticket prices are like insane. The cheapest ones you can get are like $2,500, ranging all the way up to like 50 grand.
That's so crazy, dude.
They've had 2-day lineups just for merch.
I saw that because they put out the merch in the arena like 2-3 days ago, right? And people were able to just go shopping. That's nuts to line up to go shopping.
Taylor Swift fandom it's basically like a cult. It is, man. I feel like anyone who's obsessed with Taylor Swift, in their eyes, she can do nothing wrong.
Honestly.
And you can never say anything bad about her or else she'll get attacked.
I mean, the thing is like, this woman is an economy unto herself. And it's not because of specifically her, but it is because of that fan base is so rabid. They literally descend on a city that Taylor Swift is playing at, like Toronto, like a plague. And I mean, yes, they spend a lot of money and they boost the local economies and all that stuff, but it is wild to see these traveling packs of fans that go city to city, country to country.
She could get a DUI and they'd blame it on her ex.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That cop would be run out of town.
And then if you think about it, it's like they gather, 50, 70,000 people at a time, paying thousands of dollars to see her like she's the second coming of Christ.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's like the gathering of the juggalos, but with less makeup.
If she told everyone at the Sky Dome tonight to riot, they would.
Oh, 100%. They would take to the streets and they would burn the CN Tower to the ground.
She could literally pass around like cups of Kool-Aid and say, on the count of 3, let's all drink them. And they would, dude.
They wouldn't even question it. Wouldn't even bat an eye. They would raise their weird friendship bracelets to the sky and chug the whole glass.
We are never, ever, ever
waking up after this.
Yeah. The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What is something that isn't a cult but feels like a cult?
Wintertime bird watchers, especially on Amherst Island. They come from Quebec and they park all over the road. And if you tell one of them that they're parked in the wrong place, the other 30 will come and tell you, even though you live there, that you're wrong and they're right.
Well, they've been watching birds so long, they've learned swarm behavior. If they all chirp at you at the same time, you're forced to flee.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like it's like bird watchers are kind of like that. I mean, I also feel like maybe they're working with the government too. Who knows?
Well, that's the thing is it's a lot harder to tell it's a drone repair person if there's 30 of them all standing together.
Someone else texted in cyclists is like a cult.
Honestly, especially, and listen, 'tis the season. When I see a group of people cycling in the wintertime together,
you're nuts.
That's a cult meeting.
Yeah.
That's a cult meeting. You cannot convince me otherwise.
They all wear the same uniform.
Yeah.
They're all dicks.
Yeah.
They think they own the road.
Oh, speaking of cyclists, someone texted in Harley drivers.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking bad about Harleys. I think Harleys are cool. But when you're in Harley culture and you've got the whole wardrobe and the bike and the stickers on your other vehicles, you're kind of in a cult.
There's people that don't even have the bikes and are obsessed with it. They're like the same people that are obsessed with essential oils.
Essential oils and what are the other, the MLMs, the weight loss pills and the sugar pills and all these other things, the makeup.
What's the one that sells the candles? You know what I'm talking about?
Scentsy.
Oh yeah,
Scentsy.
That's a cult. That's 100% a cult.
And listen, if you're listening and you're like, I sell Scentsy, hey, text him. My girlfriend loves that stuff. But at the same time, you are in a cult.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's what it is.
You fell for it.
You are in a cult.
Someone else said the Holy Church of CrossFit. I mean, it's almost like they're training people, right? They got dudes swinging hammers around, throwing tires, doing pull-ups and gas masks. Like,
I don't want to get political, but I will say, politics is becoming a cult.
On both sides of it.
Both sides.
Yeah.
It's multiple cults.
Yeah.
But it's all becoming very cult-like on both sides of the
Whether you're a
aisle.
liberal or you're an F. Trudeau kind of person, they
100%.
both do have their cultish kind of vibes.
You've got, they're starting to do more rallies and things. They're getting merchandise and all that. Although, now that I'm saying all these things, it's kind of a cult.
What?
Being a Maple Leafs fan.
No, it's not.
Being a Maple Leafs fan
No,
is being
it's not.
cult. You're spending money on the merch. You're attending rallies. You're going to meetings. You get a newsletter, don't you? You're on at least one Leafs newsletter.
But I get upset with them.
Yeah, do you really get upset with them? Or do you come on this public broadcast on a daily basis and make excuses for them about how they really can do no wrong at the end of the day?
The Leafs are more like a religion than a cult.
You believe in a far-off, undeterminable prophecy of success, and all you have to do is give your entire soul and being to the team, and one day you're given the promise of happiness.
I'm waiting for the second coming.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I had a cute moment with my girlfriend Courtney. We were driving in the car, and she heard the promo run for CCR Week here at the station.
Yeah.
She was like, what does CCR stand for?
I guess, yeah, if you're not like a fan of the band and they get pretty exclusively referred to as CCR, you might not know.
So I told her it was Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Right.
And she said the cutest thing to me. She said, that sounds like a pool cleaning service. And it kind of does, actually.
Honey, we're getting a film on the pool. Can you call Creedence Clearwater Revival to get that cleaned up?
Like, if they were an up-and-coming band and you were just seeing flyers around town,
yeah,
I would assume that's what they are, or maybe like a Brita filter company.
Oh, yeah. They come in and they do, like, you got hard water in the home, and CCR will be there to help you.
They're like a water
out.
Purification company.
It's the clear water. That's what makes it really sound businessy.
Either that or they're, like, super eco-friendly. They collect beer can rings.
Or they work in like habitats and stuff like that. Like CCR, proud partner of Ducks Unlimited.
You know how there's like the water store?
Yeah.
That would be the perfect name.
Creedence Clearwater Revival's where I go to get my Culligan refill.
Yeah. They have the best reverse osmosis system there.
Nobody purifies water like CCR, let me tell you.
It was just like riffing with her yesterday. We were like, CCR itself even sounds like a dirt bike company.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's right up there with FXR, right?
Exactly.
If you showed up with like an off-brand FXR jacket, and you were like, oh, it's okay, it's CCR.
It's like the bootleg FXR. It's like when my mom bought me Mecha jeans instead of Exco kind of type thing. Yeah.
You get it off of that Temu site. CCR motocross brands.
It even kind of sounds like something that would be with the government. Maybe it's because of like the CRA kind of thing.
Well, there is a CCR in the government. You know that, right?
Is there?
The Canadian Carbon Rebate. The carbon tax is CCR. You should have gotten a CCR check, I'm pretty sure, at some point.
I'm waiting for my CCR check.
Boy, when my CCR comes in, I'm going to hit the LCB up.
I've been looking out my back door. I've been down on the corner.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I feel like I can give you a band name. You come up with the business that band would be.
Okay, yeah. Let's try it.
An easy one off the top of my head would be like Guns N' Roses.
Oh, that sounds like a sketchy tattoo parlor.
100%.
For sure.
It's exactly what it is. Shinedown.
Shinedown's like a maid cleaning service.
They come in, shine down. Everything's going to get cleaned
Or like a
up.
graffiti removal.
Oh, that's good. Rolling Stones.
That's a dispensary.
Yeah. No, that probably actually is a dispensary.
For sure it is, yeah.
Think of it. Fish.
That's like a hipster fish and chips place.
Fish with a PH.
Yeah.
And they still serve it in like newspaper and stuff.
Yeah.
Papa Roach.
That's an exterminator.
That's an easy one.
Right?
That's a softball. What are the Foo Fighters doing?
That's a divorce attorney. Very topical right now, actually.
See the Foo Fighters for all your legal needs. Blink-182.
Maybe like an optometrist or an eye doctor.
Oh,
like a Hakeem optical place.
Yeah. You blink to get the like dye distributed. Stuff like
you
that.
get one pair of glasses for $82.
Speaking of bands from video games back in the day, what about Alien Ant Farm?
That's got to be like a bug store, like a place you get bugs for your reptiles.
Like an ant farm, like an actual ant farm place.
Yeah.
Glorious Sons.
Glorious Sons? I feel like that's a landscaping company.
Think so?
It feels like it's got landscaping vibes.
The Glorious Sons will come edge your lawn?
Yeah.
Okay, then what's Nickelback?
Nickelback sounds like a charity.
You think so?
The Nickelback?
See, I would think Nickelback would be like an accounting firm. Or like they would do your taxes. They're like an H&R Block.
The Nickelback also sounds like a strip club, too.
You are 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue? Motley Crue's like a brewery. At least they used to be a brewery. And now they sell kombucha. Because all the guys are sober now.
It used to be cool.
Used to be really cool, and then they became raging alcoholics.
Okay, let's do a couple more here. Van Halen.
Moving service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch.
It sounds like a right-wing online podcast.
It sounds like a karate dojo.
Yeah, that too.
But again, super sketchy.
Yeah.
And last one I see here is Prince.
Prince? I think Prince would be like a no frills. You know how there's like Tanya's no frills?
Prince is independent.
Yeah. It's like Prince's no frills.
And then one day you were driving past and the word Prince was gone and it was just this really weird symbol in front of the independent. You're like, I don't know where I'm shopping anymore.
It's like the artist formerly known as Prince No Frills. Instead of yellow, everything's just purple in there.
You know what? That would actually be a really calming shopping experience.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I think that I found the best Christmas job of all time. You know Rockefeller Center in New York City? It's like the big central hub. And
30 Rock.
30 Rock. Every year they do the big, massive tree lighting. It's just this obnoxiously huge Christmas tree that they decorate and they have a big celebration for.
Seen it in Home Alone too.
Did you know that there is one man whose job is to find, scout out, and deliver that tree?
He's like a tree scout?
He's a tree scout for Rockefeller Center who allegedly goes to 6 states. They've got 6 different surrounding states.
Get out of here, really?
That is the area where they think the best trees grow that they can get into New York, like in a reasonable time frame for cost and everything. And he scouts hundreds of different trees until he finds the one, and then he is in charge of being like, all right, boys, that's the one. Cut it down, get it on the truck.
Does he have like a criteria? Is he like, that one's not tall enough, that one's not luscious enough?
Apparently, he sort of kind of like got it in his head of like what the perfect tree looks like. It almost feels like he's trying to like protect his job security by not getting too specific, like you said, of like, oh, a certain width, radius, all these things. But he's just like, he gets out there. He's been doing it for 40 years. And he is every year heads out into the wilderness and doesn't come back until he's got the tree.
That's a typical city worker just out there doing nothing. just killing time, eh?
Well, I mean, you think back to, was your old man the type to like, we're going out and cutting down a tree?
Yeah, we would do the thing every year, yeah.
My stepdad believed artificial trees were evil. We have to go out into the woods, the territories, find the right tree. How long did it take you?
I don't know, like 10 minutes.
Right. You jump in the truck, you drive outside city limits, you make sure you're not on someone's farmland.
As long as it didn't look like a Charlie Brown tree, we were good.
You find a fluffy looking tree, cut it down, take it home. This man is taking weeks traveling, going all around to find, and I get that the Rockefeller tree is an iconic thing for a lot of people. People travel from all over the place to New York, even from Canada, to see the lighting of this tree. But this man's billable hours need some scrutiny.
I wonder if he goes to the same like parks or whatever forests, because it's like, you know, they say trees talk to each other. They see this guy coming every year and they're like, dude, look ugly, lose a branch. Lean a little bit, bro.
Start shooting needles out everywhere, just trying to look frail as hell. Like, oh, that tree will never stand up in Rock Center.
There's certain forests where they know, they're like, this guy never picks a tree from here. It's just his first stop to kill time.
We're just on the list. Boys, don't stress out. He's not coming for us. We're not tall enough. Everything's going to be
That's
fine.
the most city job I've ever heard in my entire life, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Cause it's time for you to send a text. 762-555, send a text. Questions, comments, or concerns right now. Just send a text. Oh, send a text. Oh, send a text. 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 Send a text.
It's all this. That's the part that's killing me.
I just felt like there's so many people that are dying to get these Taylor Swift tickets, and they're not going to be able to afford to go to the show, so I might as well give them a little taste of what they're missing tonight.
You're making dreams happen here. For all the people who are rocking their friendship bracelets today that can't go to Toronto and go see the actual thing, you're giving them a little sample.
You're welcome. The boys from FLC want a shout out.
Oh.
And they did say they will make some custom buckets for us as well, which I finally figured out what FLC stands for.
Bucket like helmet or bucket like...
Frontline Crappers.
Oh, that kind of bucket.
That's what I think it means.
A custom commode would be pretty sick. Thanks, boys.
Thanks,
appreciate
FLC.
that.
We appreciate you.
Sean wants to know, how much money would it take for you guys to become Swifties? I think we proved it was about $1,000 during the Hakuna Matata shirts. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Or no, it's the 3825 cancer shirts.
Yeah, if you missed it, some guy spent $1,000 for us to play two Taylor Swift songs on the radio.
I want to say his name was Paul.
Yeah.
His wife is a big Swiftie, and he donated $1,000 to Canadian Cancer Society that year, and we played two Taylor Swift songs. So, yeah, for us personally to go see the Taylor Swift show, I actually don't think you would have to pay me to go. I think if I had a pair of tickets, I would go out of curiosity.
I could not spend $2,500 to go to any concert, to be honest with you.
That's just it. I wouldn't pay to go see it. The prices are insane. I would need a free pass, because even if you just gave me a pair of tickets, buddy, I'm selling them.
Oh, easily.
Even if I wanted to go, it's fiscally irresponsible to go to a Taylor Swift concert and not resell your tickets.
Yeah.
That's a mortgage payment.
Taylor Swift is changing some people's financial lives right now.
100%. People are buying tickets for $50,000.
She's making people go broke, but she's also making some people go rich, is the crazy thing. Someone else here said, besides jam, what is the best combo with peanut butter? I mean, it's obviously chocolate.
You know what? I like peanut butter and chocolate as much as the next guy. I'm a big Reese's guy. But outside of Reese's, I don't feel like it's as good. Reese's got the formula.
Oh, peanut butter Nutella.
Peanut butter Nutella, also good. I'm a peanut butter honey guy.
Peanut butter honey, eh?
Peanut butter on a piece of bread, put some honey on there. If you want to go next level, slice up a banana and just enjoy your best life. Peanut butter honey's a good time.
Damn, honey, I learn something about you every day.
Also, side note, peanut butter and burger, fantastic.
Peanut butter banana, too. Can't forget about that.
Yes, absolutely.
What is your biggest non-academic or non-work-related accomplishment?
Ooh. For me, it is probably I got beat up by Mick Foley once at a wrestling show.
As a dad, aren't you supposed to say your kids?
So what's the next question?
I feel like you should have said your kids. You automatically go to wrestling.
No, wait, hang on. That's not my achievement. That's their mom's achievement. She's the one that gave birth to them, right? I'm just there to support.
Good recovery.
I'm just there to support.
Good recovery.
I would never take credit for what she did. How about that?
Sure.
Shut the fuck up, man. Come on.
What is the greatest physical pain you felt? Something with wrestling? Because it wasn't giving birth.
No, it wasn't wrestling. When I was young, I had a door that wasn't quite level with the ground open up and cut into my Achilles tendon.
Ooh.
And it hurt like hell. And that's why I don't run. That's the only reason I don't run.
For sure.
Yeah, otherwise I'd be a track star.
I've torn ligaments and stuff on my foot, but I think probably the worst is getting old Junior caught in the zipper.
Oh, I have luckily avoided that particular...
One time after hockey, I showered and didn't have spare boxers, and what's another one? In a Freaky Friday situation where you woke up in someone else's body, who would you like to be for a day?
Probably Elon Musk.
Yeah, I was going to say Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, the objective would be to Freaky Friday your way into the body of an absorbently wealthy person.
Transfer a bunch of money to yourself.
100%.
Yeah,
I
for
take
sure.
all of Elon's crypto, I transfer it to myself, and I go back to my body.
Final one here. Someone said, you talked about Mark Zuckerberg's couple song being Get Low. What is your radio couple song?
Oh, for the two of us.
I mean...
Saint Anger.
I will say it's probably got to be Metallica's because the first time we met was at a Metallica.
The first time we hung out was at a Metallica show, so it would have to be something from that tour in, 2017, 2016?
Sad but true.
That's us to a T, brother.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is concord. Yep, concord. CONCORD. Concord.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a state of agreement or harmony.
It's a concord?
Concord, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how marriage is supposed to be. I don't know. Anyways, have a great one. Cheers her up.
So concord.
You know, I'm starting to think Ed didn't have a happy marriage. You ever noticed a trend?
I'm starting to pick that up, too.
Starting to catch on to that.
So concord, an agreement or harmony between people or groups, also used as a harmony for musical terms. Is that where Flight of the Conchords comes from?
Probably. Yeah, honestly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they had great harmonies. You know, it's
I realized that.
A music pun from two music nerds who happen to be very funny.
And then the other is like if you're agreeing with someone, you would concord with them?
I think it's more of like we have a, like an accord, we have a concord.
Yeah.
The concord is a thing that you would have of peace and
Because I was going to say that's confusing to use in a sentence because, I mean, like concur and concord are very close together. I mean, you could start just being a smartass at work and be like, I concord with that.
Yeah. But again, I think it's like when you and I concur, we have a concord. I think that's sort of how that whole thing works. Or because there's already enough words that mean agreement. And to be honest, in this day and age, nobody's really in harmony. Just use Concord for what it's meant to be, which is that super fast-ass jet.
Oh, yeah.
It flies over the ocean.
Concord.
It's a Concord.
Yeah.
That's the only Concord you need to worry about.
Concord, or Concord.
Concurred.
Use it wherever you can today, all right?
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.